Welcome again to ELAC. My name is Kyrie Sanchinelli Salazar, and this is another one of our Career Cafe interviews. I'm here representing the Career and Job Services team today, and we'll be interviewing Anna Yang, who is a registered representative with New York Life. So, welcome, Anna, and thank you again for joining us today. We're going to get started with our first question. Can you tell me a little bit about your personal background and your career path that led you to the role that you're in today?
Yes, hi, good morning. So my name is Anna. I am a registered rep with New York Life. I guess, personal background that helped me get to where I am is I'm originally born and raised in Texas. I do have a dual background or dual master's in MBA with an additional master's in healthcare systems administration. I went to an all girls university out in Dallas. My parents were very happy about that, especially my dad, because I was very focused and I didn't have any distractions. Um, After I graduated, my undergrad, I really took some time to really reflect what I wanted to do in my career. At the age 20 something years old, which seems like forever ago, but I didn't really know what I wanted to do. But I did know that you know bachelor's is almost a requirement these days, right? When you go get a job interview and things like that, it's a requirement. So I knew that I wanted more for myself, and in order for me to, I guess, stand out, especially just on paper, is I needed to get my advanced degree. And so because of that, that was one of the propelling, I want to say, factors to where I am today, is because I did distinguish myself on paper. And then through that, I mean, it just kind of took off from there.
What skills do you think are most important for someone who's interested in a job like yours? And if you can also share, what are some of your biggest challenges that you face on a day-to-day basis?
So that's a really great question. Some of the things that I think that are very important for my particular role is that you have to be very proactive. We don't have a typical 9 to 5 job where we have a manager, overlooking our work, double checking, that we're actually making our calls, setting appointments. So I think for this role, you have to be very proactive. You have to want it, and you also have to know what your why is. And I think in, psychology class, they talk about that, right? Like, what is your why? Why do you do what you do, and what keeps you motivated? So for me, my why is, my children. I do have two very little kids. I am happily married. So my why, obviously that changes and that evolves as you get older, right? But my why right now is my kids. And then eventually it's about me. Like, I want to remember who I was before I started the family. Because as a mother, you're just, going through the motions every day. And I think we forget who we are. And so that's my why. It's, yes, my kids, then it's me, my mental health, my, purpose in life, and what I want to be remembered in. The biggest challenges that I do face with COVID in particular is that, we are a people business. And obviously, being behind the screen, it's very different from what it is in life, right? The whole element of seeing the person, touching them, talking to them, it's just so different. And I think navigating that right now has been personally a challenge for me, because I'm so bubbly. I love to talk, and I love to see people. And so I think that's one of the hardest things. One of the other challenges that I did face in my career early on is that I'm originally born and raised in Texas. And so moving to California, I used to literally pull up my GPS and be like, Target, to try to find the nearest Target to me. And so finding, places to eat, things to do, people to meet. I mean, that was one of the scariest things that anyone can do. But with all things, right? As long as your why is strong enough, you will get to where you need to go. You just got to keep moving forward. Don't look backwards. Don't, mourn about like, your previous life because that's not who you are now. So I think that's my biggest challenge that I faced.
You've kind of touched upon it a little bit, but I
Mhm.
wanted to ask, like, what do you enjoy most about the work that you do? I think it's so important, like your why. I think that's so applicable to any kind of setting that you're in. So thank you for bringing that up. So if you can touch upon like what it is it that you enjoy most about the work that you do, and are there any like projects or anything that you're really excited about to be working on right now?
So I love meeting new people. I think that, I think it gives me a sense of purpose. And I like going to bed at night knowing that I made a difference in someone's life. So much of what I do, I am a registered rep, but I do have a very strong, I guess, arm in life insurance. And so a lot of the times, I think a lot of people, when they hear life insurance, they run away from me, because it's just like any sales job, right? Like you think, oh my God, Anna, like I'm set, I'm good, like don't sell me anything, like I just wanted to be friends. But at the end of the day, I feel so good knowing that the work that I have done, I'm really changing people's lives. And I think if you can feel really good about the things that you're doing and you will be remembered for those type of things, I think for me personally, that's what I love most.
What recommendations do you have for students who want to explore entering this field, and what are common entry level jobs?
So many of the entry level jobs that I think would be best suitable for my role would be anything that's in finance, accounting, marketing, sales, because I truly believe that people do business with you because they like you, not so much of what company they work with, right? So I think self development is one of the key things to being successful in any role. I did have a background in business before I got into this, and I really truly feel like the finance courses, the accounting, those are all major, major components of what I do. And so for me to understand that before I do recommendations, it makes the job so much easier. Um, I do find a pretty big trend in a lot of the people that are coming abroad, coming on board, is bankers, realtors, CPAs, um, people that have a little bit of that previous background that might have switched roles, that want to enhance their career path. I think would be very key, I guess, career paths for us. Um, One of the biggest things that I did, I think early on, is I used to tutor for the finance department during my undergrad years. And I had no idea that this was obviously going to be something that was going to be in my life long term, because I thought I was going to be in healthcare of some form or fashion. And yeah, I mean, fast forward, 5, 10 years now, I'm like, dang, I'm so glad that I used to, tutor that, because I didn't know that I would be where I am. And because of that, I'm, obviously more savvy because I knew, I had my game on. Um, but yes, I do think that, a bachelor's is required. It's not necessary, but I honestly think that as long as you understand your numbers, and you want to self improve, take all those additional courses, because I think you'd be very surprised how much you can apply that in other roles and other career paths that you guys take on.